Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with a super fun project that you're going to absolutely love. This is the ultimate candy treat gift. As you can see, it is an advent calendar book, whichever way you want to say it. These are all the boxes, oh, not all, these are some of the boxes that we've made in October. So you can pick any of the candy treats and make this super cute book. This is such a great book for, giving to your kids, your grandkids on Halloween, your co-workers, your kid's teacher, something like, whoever you want to give it to, your next door neighbor. This is just such a great way to use up those boxes that you made and to share a little treat. Now this paper, I typed into Google free printable Halloween paper and this came up. It is beautiful. It is from printthistoday.com. It was free. Printthistoday.com. I typically do not download anything that I don't know the source, and so I just kind of cut the image and pasted it into a Word document and did my thing from there. So I don't want anyone to download it and then it be something weird. So that's what I personally do. I don't like to download anything unless I absolutely know the source. So I don't think this source is anything bad, but that's just my precaution. All right, so we have our, oops, I shifted all my candy. We have our Kit Kats, pizza box style box. In hindsight, I would have put this on the bottom so it could open this way, but I didn't do that. Like, I didn't pay attention to that. So now it opens from the top, which, as you can see, it's not a big deal. It's fine. These are our Almond Joys, our M&Ms, our Reese's Bats, the pumpkins. This one is going to open this way. And this is our Hershey milk chocolates, I think. Yes. So yeah, so nice little way to give a bunch of little snacks. Super easy to make. This tutorial is very, very beginner friendly. I take you through how to cover your chipboard. So for those of you who already know how to cover your chipboard, the first 10 minutes or so of the tutorial is just going to be that. So you can, get your paper together and all that while you're listening to that. And then, just go from there. All right, guys, here's the tutorial. Okay, so how this came about is I was cleaning off my desk and I started moving my boxes around because these still have the candies in them. When I do my box videos, the boxes usually stay on my desk for like a month until I'm ready to do the next videos. So I was cleaning off my desk and I set my boxes, just coincidentally, I sat them kind of like in this structure. And I was like, wait a minute, that looks like a advent calendar to me. So absolutely, we're going to have a Halloween advent calendar book box because I love making these. And all I did was I kind of laid out my boxes. I gave them a little bit extra room in between the boxes, a little less than 1/8 of an inch. And I measured it with a ruler to see what size I needed. And this one, I might have gone, I don't think I need that much room. So I'm going to change my measurements. All right. So I'm going to do 8.5 by, we have to do the longest box, which is this one. The 6, okay, so I still keep the 6 3/4 because it's actually 6.5, but I want to give it a little bit more room around the bottom. And by the thickness, which this box measures 1¼ so I'm going to do by 1½ okay, so that means I need 2 pieces at 8½ by 6¾ and then 1 piece at 1½ by 6¾ okay. So I already cut my chipboard out. I don't have chipboard. I had to use a cereal box. Chipboard would probably be a little bit better when you're doing these, but I have to use what I have to use. Yeah, that's way too big. All right, let me see something here. Where was I getting 8 and 9 from? Oh, I don't have this on here. I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong. I'm missing a box. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to cut these down to 8½ because at first I had them at 9. And I wasn't going to show all this on camera, but I figured I better, especially since I just had a whole thing with my computer. David had to come fix it. So I was recording. Anyway, all right, so I'm cutting these down to 8½ by 6¾ which these should already be 6¾ So I will link the candy boxes that I'm using here. These were all the candy boxes from this month of October 2025. And this is the Almond Joy. This is the Kit Kat Counts, Hershey Bar, the M&Ms, the Bats, I think. Yeah, the Bats, Reese's Bats. This should be a pumpkin. Reese's Pumpkin. And this was the Kit Kat Single. So these are the boxes that I'm using. You can pick any of the boxes, any of the treat boxes this entire month. Lay them out and measure them just like I did. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and cover. I am going to show you guys how to do the whole cover because I haven't shown that in a long time. And I'm going to attach 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper. I already have my tape on there, but I'm going to cut it down to 12 by 8¾ because I only need 1 inch on either side. So 8¾ by 12. Okay. Now I am going to go ahead and score mine 1 inch on 3 sides just because I like that crispiness of a scored side. All right, so 1 inch, and that gives you, you know, the spot where to lay your chipboard down. All right, so 1 inch. And it's easier to score it when it's not connected. You absolutely can score it when it's connected, but I don't have my scoreboard, so it's just easier to do it this way. All right, so this one I need to score. On the second piece, I only score the top and the bottom because I don't know how much of this I'm going to use. So I have a left-hand score and top and bottom on the first piece. Second piece is just top and bottom. And then I'm going to connect them with this 1/4 inch score tape. You can use your P3 tape or your duct tape or book binding tape or whatever tape you have. I just misplaced mine. I have no idea what I do with it, which is crazy because I have like 3 drawers and that's it. So I have no idea what I do with it. I have a feeling It might have been used somewhere else, not in my house, and not by me. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of make, now this paper says it's 80-pound weight. It's not. This is barely above 65, but that's okay. The less weight you use on wraps, it's easier to wrap. All right, so I'm just gonna glue my cardboard down, maybe. Oh my gosh. Here. Okay. Seriously. Okay, let me unclog this glue bottle. Okay, we're back in action. So just glue your chipboard down, your cereal box, whatever you have. This one I'm going to use extra glue to make it a little bit more stiffer. I typically wouldn't use that much glue, but... Alright, so I'm going to line it up here on my score lines. Now I'm trying not to go over, but if you go over, it's fine. It'll adjust itself. Now, for me, I have these little tools to separate my chipboard. I bought it from Amazon. I did a review on it, but you can just eyeball it. And I'm going to use this since I bought it, if I can get it out. It's a little T-ruler type thing. It is about 1/8 of an inch, a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch, a little less than 1/4 of an inch. That is the size that I like. Let me see if it tells you what that measurement is. No, it doesn't. So that's the measurement that I like. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my second piece, my spine piece, and glue it on. Now I'm doing this in the landscape position, so my long side is on the top. Okay. And if you scored your lines, you really don't need this pink thing. I just really like this measurement right here. And some people, another way some people like to do it is to put their spine directly on the fold. It doesn't bother me that my crease or my fold is on the back of my book or the front of my book. You're going to cover it with paper anyway. Some people like it in the middle of the spine. So it's really your preference. I used to only do it that way, but then I noticed it doesn't make a huge difference, and it's, you know, doesn't make a huge difference. All right, let me move my mouse and all that back over here. I had to have David come do some stuff on my computer, so I had to move everything out of the way because my computer didn't want to compute today. Thankfully, he was home. All right, so that's good. I'm gonna mark 1 inch and cut my paper. Just because I don't want to have all that excess paper. It doesn't have to be a straight edge. If you don't want it to be, you can just eyeball it with your scissors, but I don't know where my scissors are right now. Just use my paper trimmer. And that is why I didn't make a right-hand side thing, square line. All right, so now we're just gonna go ahead and trim our paper, which is just folding it up over your pieces. Alright, I like to do tape and glue, but today I'm just going to do glue because I only have one roll of tape with me and I'm still waiting for my stuff to get here. So I don't want to waste, it's not a waste, but I don't want to use my tape because I have plenty of glue. I brought glue refills. Alright, so you can get your little corner thing and mark, oh, you can't even see that. And you can mark where you want to cut it, or you can just eyeball and cut it. This gives you about 1/8 of an inch from your corner because you don't want to cut off too much or it won't cover your corner. But not enough, and then you have to like wrap a lot. Okay. Here are my scissors. So just cut your mitering. Oh, you know what? Oh no, I was gonna say I forgot to put my tape on. I literally just said I wasn't gonna use tape. Normally I put tape around the perimeter and on my chipboard, but today I am doing all glue, which is kind of making me a little nervous because I'm a creature of habit and I have never, well, I'm not gonna say never, I might have done. I rarely don't do my covers with just glue. So wet glue in the seam. I know you can't see that all the way over, but it is what it is. Okay. Pull it tight over your chipboard. Make sure there aren't any bubbles. Okay, I'm gonna do the same. I always put glue in the seam because it trains that paper to something. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it makes that seam wet so it won't crack. Yeah, I lost my words because I am a little panicky over just using glue. I know it's irrational because I've seen many great crafters use only glue, but because I was taught glue and tape, this is making me a little nervous. I know it will be fine. Okay, so now we're going to take our corners and you're going to tuck in your corners and you're going to glue that side. And this is really it. This is going to be your longest part, is covering your chipboard. Your boxes are already made, or you can go ahead and make more boxes. Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't even check if my book closed because I'm going off on that glue only business. That's okay. The glue is still wet enough that I can set it in the gussets. See? No cracking. Okay, last side. Tuck my corners in. And glue. In place. apparently I went a little wild with the glue. Okay, so now you have perfectly wrapped chipboard. You're going to let it dry. And then you're going to determine what you want on the inside. Like what paper you want. I didn't get that far. So mine is going to look like this. And I'm trying to remember how I just had it. I think I had that there. And then, no. Okay, I don't think it matters. Okay. So I opted not to have anything on this side of the book because I'm going to put like a nice little scene or something there. But if you're going to put boxes on both sides, obviously you need to measure the depth of the boxes for both sides and then make your spine accordingly. But this one I just wanted like a cute little lay flat book like this. And I'm going to actually, I don't have to cover this side because you can't see anything, but I want to cover the other side with something. So I'm gonna go find what I want. Okay, so I just wanted to cut the camera back on when I'm doing this part. So I'm covering the inside. I want it to be white, and then I'm gonna put this on top. I was just gonna use this because my printer does not let me print borderless. I don't know, I fight it, it doesn't let me print borderless. So I was going to do that, but then I wouldn't have a border on the bottom, and that bothered me. So I'm just going to cover my inside with white. Now, obviously my book is longer than 12 inches. What I like to do is add my piece, the full 12 inches, into my book. Now, the second piece, you can do, you know, a different thing. You can either line it up and just kind of glue it down that way, or you can overlap like so, like right at your fold, so you can't really see that line. In my case, I am putting boxes down, and so you're not going to see that anyway, and so I'm just going to line it up and put it on that way. That's just going to be easier for me at this point. But obviously you're going to do what's easier for you. So I'm just marking kind of where I want it on my book. And then I'll just cut it at that line. And you can always do this in pieces. You could do, some people like to put a middle piece down first and then overlap both sides. It's really whatever your preference is. There's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever you want. So that's how I'm doing mine. Okay, so I decorated the left side of my book, which was the left side and the spine. And now I'm just going to lay my boxes. And I will decorate my boxes. But right now I'm just going to lay them where we need them. And I'm not going to add anything over here on the right side because, again, my boxes take up pretty much the entire room. So I'm just not going to, how do I just have that? I think I like it better this way. Is this a fold flat box? Yep. This way. I think I have this here. You and you. I think that's how I have it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just gluing my boxes down. And actually, this one I'm going to glue shut because it's acting up. Okay. Make sure I didn't put that in my, what you call them? Oh, it's too far down. Well, that's where it's going to go. So because this little flap did not want to stay shut, I'm actually going to glue it shut just by adding glue here. And then I guess I should have did this before I glued it down, but that's all right. And I'm just gonna glue it in. That way that flap doesn't come undone and then your candy fall out, and then, you know, that's embarrassing. I need something long enough I can get in there. Yeah, this would have been so much easier if I would have thought about it before I glued the box to the base. Whatever. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. And then of course I moved my box how I wanted it, but I think I wanted this one next, so I'm going to glue the bottom of this one. This part is easy. This is just rearranging and gluing. So obviously this is going to take you more than, you know, however long this video is, because you're still going to have to make your boxes unless you already made your boxes, you followed along with me. But yeah. Just glue on this next one. It's not going to take you this much time. I'm just going super slow to make sure every craft level can follow. Because sometimes it's frustrating. Like, this is very beginner friendly, but if you don't go slow enough, you know, beginners have a hard time. And I don't want it too slow to where my advanced crafters don't enjoy it. So it's kind of hard trying to decide what pace. Now my advanced crafters would have already fast forward through pretty much the whole first 10 minutes or so, which is fine. Because if you're advanced crafter, you already know how to cover your chipboard. Oh no, what did I do here? Maybe you two were up here and you were down here? Yeah. I know one of these is a pizza box style, which is this one. I'm going to put a little finger pull on this one so they know to turn this box a little bit deeper. Okay, did I glue this? Oh, no. Okay. That's why it wasn't staying straight, because it was not glued. So there's no right or wrong way to put your boxes on. I'm loving the different heights, the different angles. Like most of these are full flat box, so you're going to pull from the top or the bottom. In this case, just the top, because I glued that shut. And then I'm going to have little, let's see this one. This was done with a 110-pound cardstock, so this one's a little hard to open and close, but it'll be fine. You know what? I did not leave enough room for this one. How did I manage that? Okay, so in this case, because, oh, I know what I did. I can't fix it because my glue is dry. I put too much of a gap right here, so now I don't have room to fit this over. I didn't realize it was over the side. And so what I'm gonna do is a little, what Judge Million likes to call rough justice. Here we go. Do I want that piece or this piece? No, I want this piece. Here we go. Okay. So this is about 1/8 of an inch longer than my book, so I obviously cannot put that on there. or it's going to be bigger than my book. So what I'm going to do is take my back paper and I'm going to fill that space in. Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like but you. So 3.5. So this actually ties in my paper from the other side. I need to cut off about perfect. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to put that there. Doesn't look like an accident. It looks like it was supposed to. And here, because I knew the height was going to be different, I'm going to put this here. I need a little bit longer piece. I love that. So yeah, so now all you have to do is decorate your boxes. And if they don't already have their candy in there, you know, obviously put the candy in. And you are done. So I'm going to keep chugging along and you guys will see this when you see it. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.